care this looks ridiculous. I'm sticking with it. Cue title scene. Oh, I have no idea how hard it is to find a good Stetson in a New York City suburb. But enough about that. Let's talk about A Million Ways to Die in the West, the new R-rated comedy by Seth MacFarlane, in which case he actually directs, produced, and wrote the movie. Not only that, he's starring in this. And normally, I love Seth MacFarlane. He's amazing with Family Guy. I thought Ted was hilarious. But I knew going into this movie, this was new territory for him. This wasn't the contemporary setting of Family Guy or Ted. This was the Old West, a very specific setting. And even though, yes, you can do a lot of jokes with that, you have to be very careful and very logical with how you do things so that the film stays in focus. Look at Blazing Saddles, the best Western comedy ever. It's ridiculous, it's all over the place, but it all feels like something that is making fun of the Old West. And I knew going into this movie that that would be hard for MacFarlane. And boy, does it show. This film is, oh my god, I don't know what went wrong. Well, I do know what went wrong. Seth MacFarlane starring in the movie is a big problem. Basically, he plays kind of like the dopey farmer character. He's interested in one chick who ends up with another guy, and he finds another chick, but he's got to stop Liam Neeson, and all this fits together, sort of. But for the most part, the film is paced very badly. A lot of the humor in this is very all over the place, even for him. And again, a lot of it has to do with him starring. I feel like when he wrote this movie, he didn't write the main character for himself, because really there is no main character to this. I mean, yeah, you follow MacFarlane's character, and at first I thought he'd seem sympathetic. But as the story progresses, he's just the most dopey, nice, perfect idiot ever. And that's part of the problem. In Ted, you could do that with Mark Wahlberg because Mark Wahlberg does come off as a lovable idiot in the role, and just when he does a lot of comedies in general. But MacFarlane's typical character that he plays is usually, without sounding too harsh, the jackass. In Ted, he played a jackass. In Family Guy, everyone's kind of a jackass. So because of this, when you're trying to mix this attempt at a nice guy with this opposite personality, it really doesn't meld well. And it just feels like the movie doesn't know where it's going. In fact, I really don't know what the focus of this movie is. It works in the contemporary humor there, but that really doesn't work because it never really goes back to the Western stuff. Yeah, you hear like in the trailer about Miliquines when he's talking to Native Americans, and you get the joke, but it doesn't all fit. It never comes together, and that's because the movie doesn't know what it wants to be. Sometimes it's trying to be the hard R comedy, other times it almost feels like it's trying to be a family comedy. It's trying to work in MacFarlane's style of humor, but it's trying to stick true to humor that works with the Old West. It feels like 8 different films in one. It's the Amazing Spider-Man 2 all over again. And it just sort of feels like it can't come together, and I just feel like the film failed the minute MacFarlane put himself in the main character. If he got a fun actor, heck, if Neil Patrick Harris played the main character, it would have worked better because it's an actor who can come off as funny and lovable. Seth MacFarlane just doesn't, and it feels like he's trying so hard in this movie to come off that way, it almost makes you hate the character more. Now, that's not to say the movie doesn't work in some humor. In fact, I'd say there are some parts of this movie that really had me laughing. But a lot of it's ruined by the trailers and the commercials, and a lot of it is bogged down by all the bad jokes, which all just feel like your generic fart jokes and forced political humor and all this stuff. Even the other actors, Liam Neeson, one of the coolest guys on the planet, plays some of the funnest roles in action movies like this, can't get into this just because it's so sloppy and all over the place. I thought it was fine at points, and I wanted to really love this movie, but as it stands, all I can say is A Million Ways to Die in the West is a 5 out of 10 on the comedy scale. As like it or not, even though I respect what MacFarlane's trying to do, he doesn't bring it in this movie, and it just doesn't work. But what do you think would work? In the comments section below, let's see what MacFarlane can do right. Give me your favorite Family Guy episodes, or some of your favorite jokes by him. He's done a lot. Hopefully he can do a lot better in the future. And as always, click to like and click to subscribe, because I'll be coming back now, you hear?